Today we're doing a promotional photo shoot for my wife's company, LK Creative. This is her back there. Say hey. And this is Rebecca Shabao, our amazing model.
Hey there.
And this is my beautiful wife, Lucy Cayley. So that was an awesome photo shoot. Rebecca's amazing, isn't she? She's an actress, and she also has a mobile spray tan company called Lumiere. I will leave that info in the description, and if you want to contact her for modeling, acting, feel free. She's an awesome person and super, super easy to work with. So there's a couple things that I didn't get to in the first video. What I wish that I had whenever I first moved here in 1984 is I wish so much that there was some sort of a reference material to guide me through the process. I wish that there was somebody that I could ask and say, hey, if I try with all my heart, if I try with every bit of energy that I have, can I make it in the entertainment business? I mean, who would you go to ask something like that? God, I've been here, 35, 36 years? I think I can answer that question. I'd like to get into that. It's not really a one-word answer. It's more of how successful that you are at applying yourself and what you can be good at and what really is just out of your control. I think I'm successful. I have a house and I pay the bills and I have an amazing wife, and I thank God every day for the things that I do have, and I'm so grateful. So anyway, that's one of the points. Wow, you just skipped right over the part where you were gonna tell us how to make it in the music business and shit. Yes, this is true. I meant to emphasize the fact that I need to do a video specifically dedicated to what you can and can't do to make it in the entertainment business, some of the pitfalls that I've been through. I knew it was going to take me a little while to get my footing, but I think that the videos are getting a little bit more interesting, so please bear with me while I cover some of this backstory, because I think it'll be helpful in the long run. The fact that I'm trying to be sincere is coming off a little boring, so it's like a fine line between being the game show host and making things interesting and exciting and entertaining. So I'm working on that. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program. I started playing the violin at 8. I studied private lessons. But once I started turning around 11, 12, then I got the bug for pop music. And because my father was a local stage director and opera singer, he used me in some of his productions as a child actor. I got the acting bug too. I had a pair of drumsticks that I would sit on the floor in the basement and just drum on the floor. I inherited a guitar from an aunt who stopped playing, and I picked up the guitar. And when I saw a friend of mine play the electric guitar, and I heard Eddie Van Halen's Eruption, that was it for me. I sang in the choir when I was a kid, and since my father was an opera singer, I was always around singing. So to complicate matters further, I was a really, really active kid playing sports. I wasn't the kid sitting in the house playing the violin for hours and hours. I was the kid who did his mandatory hour of practicing violin a day, and I would sneak downstairs and and play the guitar and the drums. Oh, and I played the piano too, but I wasn't allowed to play the piano when my dad was home. So my brother would peek out of the garage door when we got home from school. So I saved up all my money and bought the first Fostex 4-track recorder that was ever released, and that was probably maybe 1982, something like that, 81, 82. You know, after working at Cherokee for a while and learning the ins and outs of real multi-track recording, I was able to get ADATs whenever they first came out. So I had a little ADAT studio that I put together, and then it got bigger and bigger, and I had a place on Hollywood Boulevard, and then the '94 earthquake came and destroyed it. So I had a studio on the 4th Street Promenade for about 5 or 6 years that I was living in. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. I lived in a car that I bought, and I also lived in this rehearsal studio that was actually in one of the worst neighborhoods of Los Angeles, in the meatpacking district. I also lived in the attic of a gym when I first moved out here. Well, we'll get to those stories at some point. It seems like it's the easy way out, coming out to California or New York or one of the other big cities, London. But realistically, you work your entire life in order to get some sort of traction. There's a famous quote that I read by Mark Duplass, who's a famous filmmaker, and he said that he realized at one point that the cavalry wasn't coming. Nobody's going to come save you. And I realized that before I opened up my own record company and my own film company, that I can't wait around. You can't wait around for somebody to sign you to a deal or hire you for a film or put you in a situation to where you're going to be in front of a bunch of people. You really have to do it yourself. Okay, there's one last thing that I want to show you, and it's an app that has helped me logging my practice time tremendously over the past year. So let's check that out. This amazing little guy is called A Tracker. I mainly use it for keeping track of my violin practice time. So what you do is you press it to start, and you practice, and then say you have to go get a sandwich or something, then you stop it. Whenever you come back again, start it. Then you can go into the reports. You can set up a start date and an end date, and you can find out how much you practiced for that time. My total hours for 2018 were 515 and 37 minutes. You can go to your daily average. So now I know that out of 365 days, I spent exactly, say, 1 hour and 24 minutes and 45 seconds playing the violin. I mean, that's the average out of 365 days. That's the end of video 2. Thank you for watching. I don't need to say subscribe because you'll do that whether or not I ask you to. So hopefully you're digging my videos. Many more to come. Peace.